Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Britt, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you probably should, because I talk about geeky things, and today we're going to talk about Power Rangers and hope that my puppy doesn't cause too much trouble. Shush, you. So, a while back, Power Rangers tweeted, put together your perfect Power Rangers team or something like that, and I decided to do that. And alongside that, I thought, what a great video idea. Let me break down my perfect Power Rangers team, and I will explain to you why I picked those particular people for this particular Power Rangers team. Now, the specifics of their post, so the specifics that I went by were the original 6 colors, so red, blue, black, pink, yellow, and green. So those are the colors that I went by, none of which are officially, I don't think any of them are actually like a special ranger, but if I had to pick a special ranger, I will add that up at the very, very end. So let's just dive right into it. Here is my perfect Power Rangers team. So for Red Ranger, it should be no surprise to anybody, I picked Casey. He is my favorite Red Power Ranger in the entire franchise, and I really love his story from start to finish, where he starts out as this kind of more demure, not very confident character, and he builds confidence throughout his course of time being a Power Ranger. But because of his lack of confidence, he actually makes a really cool leader because of the fact that he is able to lead from the heart versus leading from the brain. And I think that plays a huge role as to why he was so successful as the Red Ranger. Plus, he's not perfect, as clear when they go through their master challenges. He is not perfect. He has issues of jealousy and issues of things like that, where he has to learn how to grow, and a lot of other Red Rangers don't go through that particular story. They don't have those vices that they have to get over because they're the Red Ranger. How dare they have any kind of imperfection? So that's why I would have picked Casey as my Red Ranger. I think he makes an excellent leader, but at the same time, I think that he isn't perfect, and I love that about him, and I just love his story from start to finish. My Blue Ranger, I kind of was having trouble picking between 2 different Blue Rangers. I kind of wanted to have an original Ranger on the list, but at the same time, I really love the deeper developed characters from later on in the seasons, especially during the Disney seasons, which, if I'm not entirely mistaken, the majority, no, about half, it's half of them are Disney and half of them are not. So anyway, I ended up going with Ethan for this. This one was a very close race between Ethan and Billy. But I like the more geeky side of Ethan. He's nerdy and geeky at the same time, so he has a lot more, I think, depth and a lot more to add to the team, a lot more value to add to the team than, say, Billy would have, because he can kind of take on both aspects of that. So I think that he would be a really good character. I also chose Ethan because I just like the character a lot. The character is absolutely phenomenal. I think that he is very strong in his own right, whether that be emotionally strong or even physically strong. I mean, not even just because of his Dino Gem powers, but just because he is just physically strong, and he's able to get the team out of a lot of situations just based on his wit and just based on his quick thinking. And I think that Billy tends to be a lot more nervous. Billy tends to freak out a little bit more. So the level-headedness of Ethan, I think, is what ended up winning out for Ethan. But Ethan, I think, would be on my perfect team as the Blue Ranger. Again, my Black Ranger should come at no surprise to anyone, and that is Dylan from Power Rangers RPM. Dylan is my favorite character in RPM. And he is my favorite Black Ranger because of his depth and his character development throughout the course of RPM, and his whole story. Again, I love his story from start to finish, and I just think he's such an incredible character. I would say he's the most level-headed character on my list. He would be the backbone of the team. He would be the one kind of speaking the voice of reason. He'd be the one that's, let's not jump into this without thinking, unless he needs to, because it's, No spoilers. But either way, I feel like Dylan would be the most level-headed person on this particular team, and I think that he would do absolutely beautifully. He is obviously very, very strong physically because of, you know, hybrid technology and stuff. He's very, very strong. He is able to do things that that normal humans can't, and so I think that it's really beneficial for him to be on the team. Plus he has, you know, when he's morphed, he has that special invincibility shield that he can throw up to help save the team in places of need. But yeah, I think that Dylan would make an amazing Black Power Ranger. I think, you know, he steps outside of the normal kind of goofy Black Power Ranger that I think we tend to see a lot more often. So I think just that is also part of why I would have chosen him over pretty much anybody else. My Yellow Ranger would be Taylor from Power Rangers Wild Force. Again, she's so level-headed. She tends to have this kind of like shoot now, ask questions later kind of attitude, which I really like about her. She does seem to be very strong-headed, and she does tend to act on impulse, but aside from that, you know, I think that the others would obviously keep her reined in, which I think would be very beneficial. I think she would have a lot of respect for the guys on the team, just because, you know, they are a lot more respectful in their seasons of women, except for Ethan maybe at the beginning, but that's a whole different conversation to have. Both the guys are kind of sexist at the beginning of Dino Thunder, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, moving forward. I do think that she would have a lot of respect for the other guys on the team. She is a good contrast to the Pink Ranger that I chose, which again shouldn't be any surprise to anybody, but she's a good contrast to the Pink Ranger that I chose. I don't think they would necessarily butt heads too often, because I think the Pink Ranger that I chose isn't ridiculously girly, but at the same time I think that she's girly enough that they are obviously like separated enough that I didn't pick two very similar female characters, which would have been something I would have done, because I don't tend to like female characters, because any form of media, any form of television, movies, in any part of the world tends to be extremely sexist and puts women in a very specific place. And as a woman that does not fit the gender stereotype of women, I like to see women that don't fit that stereotype. So that is who I would choose as my Yellow Ranger. I think she would be a really good asset, even though her kind of flaws are there and very prevalent. I still think the other guys and the Pink Ranger would be able to rein her in and keep her safe when she is acting on that impulse. And my Pink Ranger I chose, again, like I said a little bit earlier, should not come in as any surprise. She is likely going to be up on the top of my list of favorite Pink Rangers. Maybe not my #1 favorite, but she's definitely going to be up there, and that is Amelia from Dino Fury. We've only seen one season so far, only half of Dino Fury at this point, but Amelia has already just kind of won my heart as this incredible Power Ranger. She is adventurous. She is always the first one to try and jump in and help. She is very compassionate, and I really like that about her. She would find the best in absolutely everybody else on the team, and she would bring out the best in everybody, because I think that's what she tends to do in Dino Fury. And I think that she would just make a really good fighter, obviously, because she's extremely good at that, but at the same time I think she would be more of that mom friend to everybody on the team, since everybody else on the team seems to be a lot more immature in a lot of specific ways. She, I think, out of everybody, is probably the most mature, so she'd definitely take on that mom friend kind of mentality. She'd be the one reining almost everybody else in. She'd be the one that would be like really leading the team, but, you know, letting Casey think he's leading the team, and I would love that about her. So definitely, I think, probably my ideal Pink Ranger on this team. And my ideal Green Ranger is Trip from Time Force. And again, kind of like what I said about Ethan, he's obviously smart, he's obviously nerdy, he's really good with technology. So I think he and Ethan would do really, really well at getting the characters out of the other Rangers out of binds, and really help with the technological side of stuff. I think that it's really detrimental to a team. I mean, obviously it hasn't been statistically on Power Rangers, but I think realistically it'd be really detrimental to the team to only have one nerdy or geeky character, one nerdy or geeky member of the team that would be doing all the computer stuff, all of the Zord stuff. I think that it would be really beneficial for Trip and probably Circuit to be really active on the team and really add a lot of value. I think both Trip and Ethan would end up adding a ton of value. They would end up teaming up a lot, I think. And then I think Taylor and Amelia would team up a lot. And I think Casey and Dylan, while would butt heads a lot, would definitely team up a lot. So I think the team also just really kind of, I think the team is just really well-rounded in that regard. I don't think there'd be a lot of butt heading necessarily going on, but I think that the team itself would really be put together very nicely. Now, as I said, none of these characters are actually officially 6th or Special Rangers in any way, shape, or form. So if we take out the Green Ranger aspect and just put in a Special Ranger, I would definitely put in Eric from Time Force. He is the 6th Ranger from Time Force, and I just really like him, even though I think that he and Dylan would definitely butt heads and would not be friends. I think that they would find that common enemy and go against that common enemy. But I think Eric would be a lot like he was in his season, which was, yeah, I'm a Power Ranger, yeah, I will fight with you, but like, we're not friends. Like, we're not doing this together. And I think that that's how he and Dylan would definitely kind of butt heads, but at the same time go, but we have this common enemy, let's put our differences aside and just fight together for that purpose. And so I think Eric would be a very good asset because he's extremely strong, he's incredibly intelligent, and he has history of tactical, you know, force. Obviously he's part of the Silver Guardian. That really will help having more of that military background with Taylor in there, and of course Dylan with what his kind was originally created to have to do. Plus, I totally ship Taylor and Eric, so there's that. They are just so darn cute together, though I agree that they probably would not have lasted. Anyway, that is my ideal Power Rangers team. If you guys want to post your ideal Power Rangers team down in the comments below, please do so and tell me why you picked each individual Power Ranger for your team. So I would love to see that in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with a friend who may share my same sentiments, or if you want to start a conversation with a friend, share this video so you guys can have that conversation as well. I would love to see more conversations like this because I think that this is such a fun topic and one that I know that I've never really talked about in the past. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see my last Power Rangers video, you guys can click right here. If you guys want to see all of the Power Rangers videos I've ever done, you can click right here. Click here to subscribe to a vlogging channel. Click here to subscribe to my main channel. And I hit the bell for notifications on both those channels so you don't miss a single one of my videos. And I will see you all next time. Bye.